Hello, Kendra Witkowski. I'm the Director of Business Development here at Scoop Soldiers. And one of the best parts of my jobs, one of the funnest parts of my jobs is I get to co-host the Find Your Gold podcast. And typical of my position here, I do a lot of traveling. And so whenever I get anywhere near one of my longtime scooping friends, I can't help but volunteer them to be on a podcast, whether they want to or not. So today we are in New Jersey, and so I'm with Mel, and I think we've known her I've known her for 20 years or whatever. So I'll let Mel introduce herself, tell us your name, your company, kind of where you service, what you guys do.
Okay, my name's Mary Ellen Levy, known as Mel.
Mel.
I own When Duty Calls for 25 years now, and I do Central New Jersey.
You guys just do pet waste removal, right? Once a week?
Yeah, just pet waste removal.
Do you guys do like any of the sanitizers or deodorizers?
Oh yeah, we use sanitizers every job.
Okay.
Before and after.
Yep.
Just in case anything's still there, but
yeah.
That's about.
So that's one of the beauties of our industry is it's simple.
Yeah.
Right. Like now, don't get me wrong. Like I'm sure myself and at times yourself, like we try our best to complicate things sometimes, but it's a very simple service. So
yes,
we just do pet waste removal. Check box. Like there's not a lot of other things to kind of do. So
there's other things you could bring into it, but I would prefer not to because
well, this works.
Simple. Yeah.
It works
for me.
right? So, I mean, there are other scoopers that I know that do pet sitting or lawn care It's usually a lawn care company that does pet waste removal. It's not usually the other side. But yeah, the beauty of this industry is that it's not overly complicated, or it doesn't have to be overly complicated.
Right.
So let's start with that. So I started my business in the 2000. I think I incorporated 2002, and we went to dinner last night, and we're on the same time frame. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember how we met. It must have been through APWS.
Yep.
It must have been at a convention or something like that. Like that's the best. Like when you've got an industry friend or a colleague that you've known for 20 years. Like
mm-hmm.
It doesn't even matter how we met.
Yeah.
We just have been.
Yeah. You can call and say, I got this problem.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Yeah. You won't believe what this kid did.
Yeah. Exactly. What employee?
What employee? So let's talk about like some of the differences between 2000, 2002, and like 2025. Like and I think probably technology has just been crazy over these years and all that stuff. So it would make sense that every industry has changed, but because we've lived in the old school ways of doing things, and now some of us seasoned individuals might choose to keep some of those old habits, their same tactics the same. But let's talk about employees, right? Like that's the plus.
Yes.
So sometimes the not plus of business. So how has employees changed in the last 25 years? I mean, you can listen. Before we jumped on here, I said, "Girl, just say it.
Yeah,
just say it. And if it's too crazy, we'll cut it."
Yeah.
Employees are
very tough to deal with.
Yes.
You can't control them, and they do what they want.
Yeah.
You try to do your best to make sure that they're safe and everything that goes along with it, but sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't stick. Yep. Yeah. Yep. What's the saying? My brain just froze. Hire slow, fire quick.
Yes.
So that's always
it takes about 2 weeks to hire somebody in my
to
company.
hire them and onboard them, or you're saying just to find somebody?
No. Now we can find them fairly easy.
Okay.
But keeping them could be the problem.
So at Scoop Soldiers, one of the benefits of being a franchise owner is the collective knowledge, like all of the things, all the people. And so we had an all-company meeting, or all-Z meeting, we call it, the other day, and we were talking about hiring as a franchise system. And I would say that we probably would agree that finding them is not as hard as I think it used to be. Mm-hmm. From my perspective, keeping them seems, and I don't own a business anymore, so I'm not. Thankfully not having to do that, but I do help franchise owners who hire, and so we were talking about different ways to pay, pay per performance, pay per stop, hourly, spiffs, right?
Yeah.
If they get so much done in this much time without callbacks, and kind of building that culture, and maybe that's probably the biggest, in my head, like the biggest change is like back in our day, right?
Yeah.
Like you just showed up, you did your job, you did the best you could, and you went home.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's bad, but I feel like like kids these days, like, you know, like the culture is very important to them, feeling included and, you know, being heard. And I'm not saying that's bad, but all of that stuff has become probably harder for someone like us that's from 20 years ago to be like, listen.
I'm not a new kid on the block.
I'm not a new kid on the block. So how have you, and you've got 8 employees, some part-time, some like a,
yes, I have.
Plus Mary, 9.
Yeah, there's 10 of us all
10
together.
of us. So how do you, especially in a industry or a job where nobody's the same, like we're not in a brick and mortar, right? Where you don't have a coffee cup shop thing that we can all like have lunch together and whatever.
Yeah.
How do you kind of encourage that, you know, that team effort or that culture in a business that everyone's going in different directions?
I try to have a team meeting once every 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
They come here to pick up their vehicles.
Okay.
So I'm out there every morning. And of course,
whether they want it or not?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like, I like to get to know them.
Yeah.
So they ride with one of my older workers for a week.
Okay.
And then I'll give them a few jobs to do on their own, and then I could see whether they're going to make it or not. I put everybody on a 3-month,
like 90-day review.
Yeah, 90-day review, and see what happens.
Yeah, it is. I think it maybe in my head it seems like more of a you're looking for more of a unique person because we do a lot of walking, a lot more walking than people would. How many steps do you think a scooper walks in a day?
About 20,000.
I was going to say right around the 20,000 mark, right? So if you're looking for a job where you want to get your steps in,
here's
where you
and
go.
It's good. In the very beginning, you definitely lose weight.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. You lose weight. And then once your body realizes that you're doing this all the time, it comes back.
So, well, I was going to say, so maybe I should ask EJ if I can get back in a truck and shed a few. But if I'm just going to shed a few pounds, then I'll just
stay. It's going to come back.
It's going to come back. And plus, I haven't scooped in a long time, so my wrist and elbow and shoulders, like, I'm not sore. I'm not Popeye anymore, right? With one arm being bigger than the other.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, right.
I still am.
All right, so culture we got kind of taken care of. How do you hire? Like where do you, like Indeed?
I tried to have from people.
Okay, like referrals from employees or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Word of mouth, and then we check them out.
Okay.
And we put them through the system and see what comes out. Yeah. And then most of the times they're pretty good. Once in a while you get one and
sneaks in on you.
Yeah, he does. I had a guy.
So as you say that, my eye flashes back to all the ones that were like, "Ooh, I was off on that." And when you say some of them don't make it, do you have like mug shots? Maybe not mug shots the right word, but like images that pop in your head, like
no mug shots.
That you know, this stuff happens.
Yeah, I asked them, "Can you pass a drug test?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you pass a background check? Yeah. Okay.
How many dollars have you spent running background checks for people that didn't pass the background check?
Enough to have a nice vacation.
Because that always got me. Like when I would hire someone, I'd tell them, you know, like you're driving my vehicles, right? So you have to have a valid driver's license. I want to make sure you have a clean record.
Yep.
In scooping, not that your customer list isn't worth something, but I'm looking out your window. You got what, $100,000 in at least?
Oh,
at
easy,
least.
easy.
I can't even see down that way. So you've got $100,000+ in vehicles.
Yep.
And not only the value of the vehicle, if someone gets in a car accident or it's that car is off the road, now you have repairs or a new car, plus you're missing the opportunity to get your work done.
Yep.
Right? So there's all kinds of things. So, but back to my point is I would tell people we're going to run a background check and a drug test, and they'd be like, no problem. And then they're like, well, shoot.
Yeah. Oh, you start tomorrow morning at 10
caught
o'clock.
that, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, you're going to start.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when they don't get there by 9:15,
you're figuring out that
you said you could and you can't. You know, by 9:30, I call and say, I guess you're not going to take the job. You don't want the job. What's the story? Oh, I just can't make it today. And then the background check comes up and it's like...
Yeah. I wish I would just tell... Like, I don't even know what's a background check run nowadays?
I haven't done one in a while.
I was just going to say, because you've had a pretty long-running, like,
Yeah.
knock on wood, you've got a pretty long running staff.
Yeah.
So I think they used to be like $60-$70. They got to be $100
I think that,
now or
yeah, I was
something.
going to say, I think they're around
worth it.
$100 or $90.
Yeah, it's
Somewhere
gotta be
around
worth
there.
it to do it.
Yeah, it is.
So how's the customer changed in the last 20 years?
I don't think they changed much.
I was going to say, trying to think from like what I hear in my current role at Scoop Soldiers, like with my franchise owners in the command center, and what I remember from my day. I don't like the complaints or the issues are still kind of
they still come.
the same.
There's very little in the winter.
Complaints, you mean? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
complaints.
Yeah.
There are some in the fall,
Yeah.
but there's also 4 feet of leaves.
leaves.
You know, if I can't see it, I
I
can't,
can't
get
get
it.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's
Springtime, they're pretty decent in springtime, but come summertime, if you miss one,
yeah. For like a
that,
tiny amount. They're
yes, they're on the phone and they want somebody back right away.
today.
Yeah.
Like today.
Yeah, today.
So I'm from Chicagoland. Scoop Soldiers, we have nationwide, but we're based out of Dallas. Weather here is probably Chicagoland-ish with snow. How important is a good spring rush for you guys?
Very.
Yeah. Like I would say if my business grew a little bit, what made a good year for me was a good spring rush.
Yes.
Right? So as much as you hate to see that snow melting,
Yeah.
you also like,
We start our spring rush in January.
okay,
So we have January, February, March.
okay,
Anything past that is kind of gravy.
okay.
We make most of our money in those 3 months. And then when spring comes, now that there are many more scoopers, it's a little bit harder.
So is your weather, like because in Chicagoland, spring rush for us would be like depending on the season, it could be like 3-4 weeks long, like that back half of February into March, maybe into April,
Yeah.
or it could be middle of April, May and June, just depending
Right.
on how the weather.
It depends on the weather. We usually have snow
Yeah.
in January and February. But
And you're just catching them as that snow melts, right?
Yes,
like you're like, let's
exactly.
get them out and let's get some of these done now.
yeah,
Okay.
and we have recurring customers that will come back and
So they cancel like in the winter and they come back.
Yeah.
Do you find that like the people that, so I always kind of felt it was a little bit even. So you'd have some customers that stopped service in the summer because the kids are home, I need to do it every day, which you
Yep.
get, right? You got
Yeah.
littles out there, you got to
A
get it
lot
done.
of 'em, yeah.
But then those people would come back in the winter, and then there's some people that would cancel for the winter and say, like, listen, we don't even care.
Yep.
Like, we'll just get it in the spring. And
Absolutely.
So, but I felt like kind of like my customer count, kind of was, it was a kind
seesaws.
of, yeah, like, yeah,
Yeah,
it was kind of, and I always kind of put it around like mowing season, right? Like if they haven't scooped their yard, by the time the mowers go out, they're not going to scoop it.
Right,
Right. And then when the
exactly.
mowers stop, it
Yep.
was almost around that. So you think New Jersey is kind of that same?
Yes,
that
without
same,
a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes we can go later in the fall. I mean, we scoop
depends,
year
yeah.
round.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
depending on the weather,
Yep.
we had a very easy winter, so we were out there all winter, of
Yeah.
course. But it was a lot easier on the scoopers
Yeah.
themselves instead of being
How did
frozen.
how does an easier winter, and when you say easier winter, I'm assuming that you're saying there wasn't a ton of snow.
Right.
Right. So you have a easier winter, right, where there's less snow and people can scoop their yard if they're going to. Do you feel like that affects your spring? And if so, like how does it affect your spring?
I don't think it affects the spring really because they're maintained all through the winter. If somebody comes in, they might need a first-time cleanup, or I don't think it affects
Okay.
the spring because unless somebody goes out in the yard and go, oh,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So how do you bill so do you have an accumulation fee? So someone that stopped in the winter and they restart, do they have like an accumulation fee and then they go back to their day of service and their regular rates?
Yep.
So what if somebody wants just a one-time cleaning? Like, hey, my kids are gonna do it, can you just come bail us out? How do you bill for that? Is that like per hour, per dog?
Depends on the size of the property,
Okay.
the terrain of the property.
Okay.
If there's rocks,
Oh yeah.
rocks are
How much do you love river rock? Lava rock.
Oh,
So if you had to pick rocks, river rock, lava rock, or pea gravel?
I take pea gravel.
Pea gravel.
Yeah.
Would you take pea gravel or wood chips?
pea gravel?
Pea gravel, because the wood chips looks like.
Yeah, exactly. We had a client that called and said, "There's so much stuff here."
Yeah.
And we went back, and it was all It was
mulch.
not. Yeah, it was mulch.
So I remember, like in Chicagoland, like of course it's always the client that lives like the farthest, right?
Yes,
so I had a client call, and she was lost her junk. Like she was livid. And of course it's a Friday at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Call my brother. I'm like, hey, my brother Kyle was my ops guy for like most of the time. Like, hey, you got to run yourself up to the farthest point. He's not happy about it, but we do it, right? He runs up there. Lady comes out and she's like, like cussing at him and like, yelling, like spitting on it, like so mad. And I'm the hot-headed one of our family. My brother Kyle is usually pretty mild. And he looked at her and he said, "That's mulch." And she just turned around and didn't say anything, walked right back into her house and shut the door. But she was really mad.
Oh.
And we drove probably 45 minutes out, 45 minutes back, because of course it's the farthest one, for it to be like, and it was like one piece of mulch. Not like a yard full of mulch. She was like right there. And he's like, "That's mulch." Yeah. And she just turned around and went back inside.
Either that or when they irrigate the lawn.
Oh yeah, those plugs.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So for everyone that uses a pooper scooper service, whether it's Mel, Scoop Soldiers, another independent, when you aerate your lawn, those plugs look like dog poop, and please give the scooper that you've hired a week or two, because we don't really scoop that.
No.
But it takes a week or two for it to kind of go away.
Yes.
So if your lawn care guy came today and he aerated your yard and there's plugs, give a little grace to your scooper, because what you're seeing is not poop.
Yes, and on top of that, if you don't tell your newbies about it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Oh, I have many phone calls from the scoopers saying,
"I'm still here.
I only did 4 feet and I'm here an hour." Oh, why?
Yeah. So we'll note that for our operations manual to make sure our franchise owners are reminding.
I remember doing it, and the yard that I was chewing at the time, it was huge.
Yeah.
And I've never saw the irrigation plugs. So I was, there's something wrong.
Yeah, right. Like this dog's got problems. Like they don't have 2 dogs here.
No,
they've got
it's
like
one.
a lot of dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we noticed, like I noticed here that you have your vehicles here. For Scoop Soldiers is not required. Our franchise owners can let their technicians drive them home, or they can keep them here, or keep them at a location or franchise owner's house. And you and I talked a little bit about this before. Most of the time in my company, I kept my vehicles at one location. I did have a period of time where I let the techs take them home. You keep them here for what reason?
Because I have part-time workers.
Oh, okay.
So they work 2 days, maybe 3.
Okay.
They need to work 4 or 5 before I let them take the vehicle.
Well, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, if I was a part-time employee, I wouldn't want an extra vehicle, especially here in New Jersey.
Right,
I'm from like the
exactly.
burbs of Chicagoland. Does anyone here have a driveway? Does everyone in this entire state just parallel park?
Yep.
Yeah. So I can see that being a pain in the rear end for your staff, that they have to maneuver another vehicle. Now, what do your neighbors think about that?
Oh, they love me.
So besides the fact that the vehicles are here, so my husband and I, mainly my husband, is a gardener. And I love Mel for many reasons, but she tore up is probably a good word, tore up her front yard, and it's full, again, I can see it now and I love it, but it's full of garden boxes with corn and sugar snap peas and potatoes. It's
called a victory garden.
A victory garden. So I love it.
Yeah.
But I did notice that there were no other victory gardens here on your street.
No, not here, but I have copycats. There's 2 over on the next block over, and there's 1 behind us.
Yeah, a
Just
copycat
started.
Copycat competition, like another scooper. Sometimes you're like, that kind of stings a bit.
Yeah.
But a copycat that's
gardening,
right? Like I'm the same thing with beekeeping. I'm like, I love it. Like I'll give you bees. Like just do more.
Yeah.
Like so, I assume it's the same thing with your with your
exactly.
garden
They'll
too.
come by and say, "How do you stop this insect?"
You're like, come on in.
I don't know. Come on.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Let's sit on the porch for a
We'll
minute.
figure it out. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm easily distracted, and I'm highly caffeinated today, so.
Oh, okay.
It's a good mix. So let's talk about marketing. You've been pretty lucky from our relationship that I've known, that you've never done a tremendous amount of marketing. You've always been built a business on a little bit of marketing and a lot of referrals and word of mouth. Is that still kind of with the influx of scoopers and the influx of consumers, like how are you kind of
Yeah, I've been able to maintain for the longest time because of I didn't do a lot of marketing in the beginning.
Okay.
And then like year 4 or 5, I really got into it.
Okay.
I have a lot of families, so I have generational.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like the parents had a kid that grew up, went to college, and now you scoop at their house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That means you've been
It's-
around a long time, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty
it's
cool.
25 years.
Yeah.
It's a very long time.
I don't have kids, so I feel like I don't ever know. Like 25 years doesn't, it sounds like a lot sometimes, but like when I look at my nephew that just graduated, I'm like, wow, like a lot of things have happened.
Yeah.
And so when you, like, I don't even think about that to the point that you've had customers that have had kids that you now, like
Right.
that's
That's
well,
watch
generational.
them grow up.
Yeah.
You know.
God, that's
And
crazy.
I have one client now that I have 4 dogs. Not have 4 dogs.
Oh, you've had 4 generations of dogs.
of dogs
Okay.
with them.
Okay.
And I mean, they were really big dogs, so they don't last as long. But
Still, 4
Yeah.
dogs is a long.
yeah, I still have my very first customer.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how long I kept my first one for. So my first customer was Brian Basilico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
yes.
so we're both members of we're both. I'm trying to think. I'm a member of APWS. So we're both members of APWS, and my very first customer, and APWS is the Association for Pet Waste Removal, spoke at one of our conventions. And so I always forget. I'm like, where's my very first customer? I'm like, oh, that's right. Everyone knows him because he spoke on digital marketing and those kinds of good things. So okay. So we covered employees and customers and seasonality. Like, what other changes have you seen in like logistics or operations? And I know you, like me, enjoy a good old notebook.
Yeah.
Right? Like I like to write stuff down.
I started out with a notebook and then graduated to different programs.
So how are you, how is your staff, we talked about this a little bit at dinner, but how does your staff get routing? I know you guys still using, no, I think it's great. I might steal it. The
Yeah.
Microsoft Streets and Trips CD, the
Disc,
disc.
CD,
I don't even know
yeah.
if it's the disc.
Yeah.
So Microsoft Streets and Trips is like the OG of Google Maps.
Yes.
Right, like you
yes,
could put all your
yeah.
stuff. We thought we were pretty hot shit for
I was
having
cool.
that, right? Like, we
I
were
was
cool.
cool,
Like,
yeah,
look at this. I
without a doubt.
went to Best Buy and I bought this CD that I'm going to put into my computer.
And it cost $60. That was a lot of money when I started out. $60. That
Like
was,
you really had to weigh it out too. I'm like, gosh. But how did that improved? I don't know if I don't think I had it at the very beginning, but gosh, that really did improve your routing, right? Because I think like when you live somewhere, like you know where things are, but then I don't know how many customers you have, but like slotting hundreds of customers into I'm thinking in my brain into a map to make sure your texts aren't crossing back and forth and that you don't have a Monday route that's got 2 people over here and then you got a Tuesday route here. Like
well, that's sometimes
it
that just happens.
Sometimes it happens. But
Yeah.
if it happens because of a customer request,
Yeah.
you're like, all right.
And then you got to stop and look at the routes
Yep.
again. And
So how do you keep that
refigure.
organized? I know you use Streets and Trips, like you're not using like the Sweep and Go or Jobber
No.
or Service Autopilot or
Yeah, I still use Streets and Trips. 2013 was the last year.
and you probably got that CD like in a safe.
Pretty much.
Because if you lose that, you're done.
Yeah, exactly. So the maps haven't changed. They added streets and stuff so we
Okay.
could pinpoint it
Okay.
and tell them it's between Murphy and Illinois Avenue.
Okay.
So there's a new section of homes there.
Okay.
So that's how we get around that. But I still use Streets and Trips.
Do you think at some point you're gonna have to like
Nope.
embrace the suck and
Nope.
you're just so do they have printouts? I used route books. I route books in like those clear sheets.
Okay.
How do you? But I've known. I think it was Kim with Chris's Canine Cleanup in Omaha. She had I think it was her. And if
Cards.
Yeah, note
Yes.
cards on a big janitor ring.
Yeah.
And they were like note cards that they would hole punch, and you would just go from stop to stop.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how do you manage?
I put it on one paper.
Okay.
And
Like a
I put-
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. A spreadsheet.
I'm proud of you for a spreadsheet.
I didn't do it.
Okay. Mary?
Just, yeah.
Mary or one of your daughters?
No, my Mary.
Mary, okay.
Yeah. She's my go-to girl.
Yeah.
It's the number of the house, the town,
Okay.
where
Okay.
in the property. No, before that is the dog good or bad?
Okay.
And then they take it from there. And then comments, to the left of the pool.
Right, like check
yeah,
behind the
yeah,
shed, like all
exactly.
those.
So
kinds
I
of
have
things.
papers.
Okay.
I print them out every day. They usually do the same. route all the time, so they get to know their customers and
They kind of know where they're going anyways.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I used to say, the car drove itself.
Now they actually can. Look at that. Like 20 years ago, we said, hey, listen, you use this Microsoft Streets and Trips and the car's going to drive itself.
Yeah, and before Streets and Trips, I would have the paper saying make a left here, make a left there, so you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get lost all the time.
We had GPS. The GPS you bought from Best Buy that you mounted on the dashboard of the.
Yes.
Those are also expensive and not great.
At one time, I think it was $600 and $700.
Yeah. You think about the people, like and it's probably every industry. People think, oh well, she charges, and I'm not. This is she charges $20 a week, and she's got 200 clients or 1,000, whatever it is, and they do the math, and they don't think about. Like in today's world, how much is a sweep and go? How much is your software? Like fuel prices, fuel prices.
Telephone prices.
Like cell phones. Cell phones
are.
Credit card processing fees.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are,
They hurt sometimes.
They do. I remember having a conversation like with myself, like I'm going to just stop doing credit cards. We're going to go back to checks. And I'm like, well, hold on. If I do that, how many customers am I going to lose? Because
and you will.
Yeah, like because it's already set up. It's like a gym membership. It just kept.
At one time, I only took checks.
Yeah.
I didn't like taking the credit cards.
And then PayPal came around.
Yes, and now we
PayPal
do PayPal
was the first one.
and we do
Venmo and Zelle.
I don't use any of those. I just use the PayPal. I stay pretty much in my lane.
So you do credit card processing too, or you just so you do credit cards. Customers can pay with credit cards, PayPal, and do you still accept checks?
Yes.
And do you get many checks?
93.
That's all you get.
That's
and
all
you
I
have
get.
hundreds, maybe even I don't want to like hundreds and hundreds of clients, and like 93.
Yeah.
And those 93 are just not giving in, huh?
Yeah, no.
Are they bank checks where they just get drafted, like they just come?
Some of them are bank checks, but there's quite a few that are still.
Yeah.
I still write checks.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
We keep. My husband and I keep one check. I should actually look to make sure it's the right bank. One check folded up behind my driver's license, just so that if I ever needed to like. I don't even know where my checks are at my house.
Oh no, I carry my checkbook with me.
Do you balance it?
No.
No.
I haven't balanced a checkbook in 25 years.
Nope.
My husband was always good with that. Give me a checkbook. I was like, I know within $100 of what's there.
I looked online. It's pretty close.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
So then do you use so how do you do invoicing then? Are you using like QuickBooks or?
QuickBooks now. Yeah, I started out with another program. I don't remember what it was.
Was it Quicken or Peachtree? Peachtree was big like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it could be. I think Quicken.
I think Sheree still uses Quicken outside of Tampa in Florida.
Yeah, I went over to QuickBooks.
Are you QuickBooks Desktop or QuickBooks Online?
Online. You can't get desktop anymore.
Well, so we've got another friend named Ron Vecchio, and he's a couple hours from here. And I was on social media a month ago or so, and he was trying to convert, and he lost his mind and just said, "Put it back, just put it back." Mm-hmm. So Scoop Soldiers has another company that we subcontract in called White Picket Team. They do bookkeeping and all kinds of good stuff. And so I referred. I don't know if I think he just gave up, but I referred him like, "Hey, when you go to do that again, I'm like, can you just give White Picket Team a call and let them help you?" Because I remember when I switched, I had to because I used QuickBooks Payroll at some point.
Right.
So you had to switch over, and it was it caused a lot of cuss words and a lot of tears. It was not.
I could see the computer going through my window. So close, so many times that you.
So did you do it, or
did
did Sarah or Teresa or Mary help you, or?
In the beginning, no. I was on
like when you moved it over from desktop to.
Yes.
Because I don't think
Mary did.
We're pretty hot-headed people, and I don't like.
I got to get up and walk away because
I'll throw it through the window.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I've seen the window break. You know, I really didn't do it, but
I was like,
many times I've seen it go through. Like I have to walk away. I have to get away.
I have to take a break.
Yeah, I do. I can't deal with this, and then I go away for a little while and then come back. And
take a deep breath. Mm-hmm. I always say, like, take a deep breath, F-bomb, get a bowl of ice cream, and get right back into it. Right?
Yeah,
what are your options?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's got to get done.
Right.
So taking a break
you
helps.
have to do it.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's taking a break, walk away, and it is
Hopefully
what it is.
you can come back and things are slightly better.
Yeah.
So you ever, so APWS is our association of pooper scoopers. And I don't know why two chicks that have been around for 25 years You were a founder. I was on the board, spoke at conventions. I don't know why neither one of us can get this right. I'm going to blame old age on me. I don't know what your excuse is going to be, but Association of Pet Waste
Services.
Services. Okay.
Yes, services.
It's the R, and there's no R in it. It gets me. So I was on the board, and I assume if you were one of the founders, you were also on a board by default.
Yes, I was.
So do you remember your number? Because I think Charisse was 6.
I think I was like 9 or 10, somewhere up there. There were 11 of us.
Back in my day, there were 11 of us.
Yes.
Like the association now is still not huge. I hope that we can, get some of these newbies to come in. I think that there's the school platforms that are out there are great. A lot of learning that happens on those, but the association is what drives change, does lobbying, gets us our SIC codes, sets standards for the industry. It's you should, big thing. It needs to be there, right? Like we just need to move it along more. And
originally, we did it to see if we can get health insurance.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, that was one of our big things. Was health insurance,
like a bulk buying power kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But it didn't help with 11.
It didn't help with 11. So who were the founders? Because Cherie said she was not a founder.
She wasn't a founder.
So Tim Stone Sr. probably.
Yes.
What about Evie?
Yes,
Evie in Washington State. She's passed. Who else would it have been? Probably Leslie in Denver. Leslie Farrell.
No, she didn't come in until after. It was Tim Stone, Mike Slotnick, myself.
Deb Levy in St. Louis.
She didn't.
She was early,
but she didn't attend it, but she
was helpful in it. Like she just wasn't an official founder.
Yeah. Kevin Mahoney.
Where's he out of?
He's in South.
Oh, that's
North New Jersey.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like
Eric Coleman
So of the 11, how many do you think are still in business? Like Deb, Tim, Kevin, you said.
Yes.
You. I can think of.
I would say about 8 or 9. Yeah, most are still.
And do you think the ones that maybe still aren't in business, do you think that they sold their business or retired or closed up shop or?
I think sometimes.
Because again, 25 years ago when I started my business, and I always tell people when you're going to start a business, you have to know your end game, right? Are you going to build this thing to pass down generationally?
Right.
Are you going to cash out in 10 years? Are you what is your end game going to be? And I did not have one when I started my business. I don't think most people think of it. But I don't know if you started a business 30 years ago, and you're in your 40s or your 50s and you retired at 60. I can see a lot of people multiple years ago just closing down because there wasn't this vast network of like you knew 11 people, or even if you know 22 people, what's the chance someone's going to be in your market, and have the finances to acquire, right?
Yes, exactly.
Like there's some of these OGs have been around a while, and we'll see where they end up going. You've got a kid that Teresa's worked for you for on and off for a while. Yeah, a long time. Teresa's her daughter. And Sarah, has Sarah ever scooped regularly, or she?
She never really did. She'll jump in now.
When needed?
Yeah, when needed.
She's got some interest in the business long term. Lots of stuff to figure out, but long term. Did Joe ever scoop?
Oh, yeah.
Joe?
He was one of before Teresa. He was.
And he's your oldest. Or he was your oldest, right?
No, he was my middle child.
Oh, was he your middle child?
Yeah.
Okay.
He scooped for a while, and I had hired a few of his friends. And when we used to do a lot of events, so I always had in mind the more people, the more you're seen.
Yeah. That brand awareness?
Yes, exactly. So I would hire 10 young people to hang out in different parks that we went to, or opening a dog park, or going a walk for cancer or something. We volunteered a lot to do that just to get our names out there.
Right, and it's always kind of nice when you're volunteering because you want to grow your business, but I know you, and that's just the right thing to do.
Right.
And so I think when you are able to do something that is the right thing to do,
right, exactly,
and it gets you a couple customers, gosh, it sure is nice in spending money on.
Yeah, well, You know,
other
you still
things.
have to give them something, you know, because they don't volunteer. So I would
Yeah, there's still
buy
costs.
them lunch.
Even if you take your daughters and you're not paying them, there's
Right.
still fuel and tchotchkes
and
all the
I
the
buy
things.
lunch all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're coming to a show with me,
That's that culture, going back to
Yeah.
that culture and making sure they feel included and
right,
and
exactly.
wanted. So, in your marketing, let's talk a little bit about and anything that you don't want to share, you don't have to, but like your local marketing efforts, like the events. So I find some events that we do, whether it was my company or Scoop Soldiers or independents that I hear, some of them are lead generators where you can close some business, and some of them are just that brand awareness.
Right.
What other things other than events have you done, like in the area,
did,
like
EDD.
Everyday Direct Mail?
Yeah,
Yep,
that was
EDDM.
one of my biggest.
Okay. And that's kind of nice. So Everyday Direct Mail is through the post office. You usually get a little bit of a price break on the postage. My hesitation was, but it's a ginormous pain in the rear end.
It was.
You get a price break, but
it was worth it,
Just-
especially if you have a card that is funny or something that
Okay.
brings your attention to
Yeah.
them. What I did was I was in on when they did the dog on the toilet.
Oh, yeah. Who did that? Who started that?
Butler, Red.
Oh, Red Boswell. Okay,
Yeah,
Matt Boswell. So Matt Boswell, Red Boswell was the original founder of Pet Butler, which is a Scoop Soldiers, a fellow franchisor here in the industry. And so he started it. I think he'd already sold when I started 20 years ago, or pretty close after, because he sold his franchise system to Jared Sessler out of Home Task Franchising out of Washington State.
Right.
So we talked about some of your boots on the ground, kind of local guerrilla marketing. I don't know whatever word you want to use, but I had forgotten that you did magnets a bazillion years ago, and you still use these, right?
Yes, I do.
So what Mel does is she's not afraid to find, and I have a husband, right? Does most of the things, right? Most of the things pretty well. But Mel is not afraid to find, if it comes up in conversation, to pass this along to a wife or a spouse, or be like, hey, why don't you put your spouse, husband, whoever in the doghouse?
I'm sure they
And
might deserve it every so
Every
often.
now and then, right?
Yeah.
Like employees.
Exactly.
Spouses are great pretty much most of the time.
Yeah.
Every now and then they get a little loose on you.
Yes, they
Right?
do.
Right. Well,
Without a doubt.
that is why I watch a lot of true crime podcasts.
Oh, okay.
Ever seen the show Snapped?
No.
Look it up. It's like Women Who Kill. Every now and then I'll just throw that on TV just to
Okay.
just to keep them in line. Like sit in my chair and be like,
Could be you.
you see this?
Yeah.
P's and Q's,
I wouldn't
man.
do it that way, but
P's and Q's.
Yeah.
It's efficient. It works.
yeah.
It works at my house.
Okay,
Right.
that's good.
So, and then the other thing that we were talking about was business cards, in which some people don't use business cards as much as they
Anymore,
used to.
right.
But we were talking about way back when. I think it was Matt Boswell or
Yes.
Red Boswell that started the dog on the toilet, and we'll kind of see if we can zoom in on this here, some B-roll. But I forgot about the dog on the toilet and the
plunger
the
and the
newspaper
paper,
and the plunger
yeah.
and the next. And this is your
Saying,
slogan saying the next best thing to indoor plumbing,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty
It
accurate.
was, it was pretty cool.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I got to stop for 1 second because I forgot my. All right, so let's talk about the scoopers. Right, you ready? 3, 2. So we've talked about a ton of things, and one thing that has really happened over the last, maybe since COVID, maybe a little before. I mean, the industry has been growing, both consumer and independent and franchise. I think maybe I just paid more attention during COVID, but I feel like we have nationwide, like more competition's the right word, but more independents and franchises popping up. How do you are you seeing that too here
Yes,
and nationwide?
absolutely.
And how does it affect? I mean, competition's great until it's
Not.
competition that's not, right?
Yeah.
Like we talked about, like sharing leads
Yeah.
and all the kinds of things. Sometimes it stings a bit.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the newbies coming in, how they're going to affect our industry? They're a different level, caliber of business owner coming in. Do you think this thing is going to swing?
I believe that it is going to
Level
swing.
itself off?
Yeah, it's going to level itself off. Everybody thinks it's very easy to do. I can make $10,000 a month if I do this. No.
Great. That looks great on paper.
Yeah, it does.
Until one guy
yeah,
backs into one truck with another truck.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Or everybody gets sick, or somebody breaks their ankle, or like all of the fun
Yeah.
things that the IRS comes a calling.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, all of the
Yeah, and it's not easy.
No.
But you can make it if you decide to put your mind to it.
Right. Yeah, I would agree. We've done several acquisitions in the last few months. I would expect that we would be doing more because I think it is. I think, and not a bad thing. I think a lot of people got into the opportunity and maybe something else has come along that they're ready to retire or move to a different industry. And I would say you probably yourself, if there's someone in the area that's thinking, maybe I win the lottery, right? Like maybe I'm gonna live my best life in the shores of Hawaii doing my thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mel would be interested in an acquisition. I know Scoop Soldiers nationwide is always looking for an acquisition, but I do think the influx of Scoop, would you say, let me ask you, would you say the influx of independent scoopers has been good or bad for the industry? Maybe not your specific area.
Okay, for the industry, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Personally, it's still good because competition is good.
Yeah.
And if they're copying you, it's
Flattery.
Yeah, exactly.
Flattery that sometimes can sting a bit.
Exactly.
And I think too, like the service is not always known. Like we know about it.
Yes.
All of my friends and family know about it. But I've been at events just last weekend. You've been at events where people come up and they're like thinking that you sell pooper scoopers. Like, no, wait, we are
the
pooper scoopers. So I think the more competition, the more it kind of.
Yeah, way back when we would go out for dinner or something, I would put something in a restaurant or something like that. And when I felt brazen, I would go into a bar and have a drink, and then I would look around and see, and it says, give anybody $100 right now if you can figure out what I do for a living.
Oh.
That worked so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did anyone ever guess right, or
No,
or it developed
never.
the conversation? So you never never had to drop down the 100, right?
Nope.
It never worked. Oh,
No.
Okay.
No, and it worked very well because it got everybody
It's
talking.
a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would get half the bar
Yeah.
to listen to what, and of course they always tell you the same jokes.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. So your business must stink.
Yes.
Your business must be picking up.
Yes, exactly.
That's a shitty job.
Yep. Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do your number one and the number two business.
Yeah. There were lots of them, and I still giggle.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
My response always was like, smells like money to me.
Yeah, that's one of mine. I go to the bank every week. What about you?
Or I tell people like, I'm not rich, but guess what? I am not poor.
I've traveled places that I never thought I would ever travel.
Yeah.
And
just from
the industry.
business.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. So let's kind of wrap on that. Whether if you are at the bar, right, or I know we don't bar as much as we used to, but if someone was here, came to you with a margarita, right? Like they're coming to your house because we're not going out.
Yeah.
We're too old for that crap. But if there was in a conversation you were having, if somebody was, and you could sense it because you're an entrepreneur, if somebody was asking you questions about being an entrepreneur in our industry or not, what advice would you have for them?
Keep going. If you really want something, just keep going.
Keep going.
Don't stop. Don't let anybody stop you. For the longest time, I didn't want to start the business because, people are going to laugh. Mm-hmm. And the reality of it is let them.
Yeah. Right.
So just keep going. Just one step in front of the other. It's not as fast.
Like you're giving me goosebumps. Like I'm not even lying. Like I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What would you say some of the benefits are? Like once you're up and running and it never stops being hard, but once you've gotten through most of the hard stuff, like when you turn around now, you're like, 25 years, and here are all the great things about being a business owner. I expected a quicker answer.
I'm sorry.
I caught you.
There are a lot
been a
to
week.
it. Yeah, I've had a very tough week.
Yeah. All right, so we got some freedom and flexibility.
Yes.
And you're how old are your kids? Like, and they were.
When we started, they were 16, 17.
Yeah. So you've got some flexibility, and you had a job for a while too. Like when you started your business.
I only retired from my job 4 years ago.
Yeah. So you were running the business and a vet tech.
Yes.
Which is not.
It was part-time.
Not an overly easy job. Like that's a very physical job.
Yeah.
So owning the business allowed you to have some flexibility, I assume, to be able to be around when the kids needed you to kind of be around as you kind of grew your business. And now you help raise your granddaughter, so there's still that flexibility to be able to do that. Any other perks besides just being like, no, it's my company. I'm not doing it. That's the best
I hired
one.
you to do it. You go do it. I'm not dealing with that today. I'm sorry. I'm closed.
I'm close. Like, go see Mary.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I have a manager.
Yeah, and Mary's your manager. So I guess that's another thing too, is your business grows and you generate more revenue and you have more profit, then you can hire someone, like scale up, structure your business to be able to be what the customers need, to be able to help them, but then also be able to pull yourself back. And when you go to and I'm not saying you're selling your business, but when somebody goes to sell your business, I was always told, like the new owner has to be able to unplug you and plug themselves in.
Right.
And if you're doing all the things in your way and nothing's documented, it's all up here in your head, that makes it harder.
Right.
Like it almost devalues your company
because
they can't. Like the new owner can't get in and drive the bus.
Yeah. It's like giving them a roadmap and no glasses or anything to see where it's going.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a manager and sometimes I cringe at things that she says, but 90% of the time she's right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I'm in the business, but I'm kind of out of the business.
Yeah.
You know, like I've really gone into the retirement mode.
Like semi-absentee?
Yes. You know, I'm always there.
But you're not the first phone call that's made.
Yeah, I'm not. The only first phone call I get is, God forbid.
I would say that would be, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
That would be probably, I think, a very strong benefit to owning a business is you've put in the hard work. So if you work 25 years at a corporation, yeah, you've got seniority and you've moved up. But now I can't think of any career that you'd have that you'd be 25 years in and be like, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to hire someone to do some of this stuff and then I'm going to go to the garden.
Yep.
Like,
that's exactly what I do.
That would be a huge benefit is you've paid your dues, you've done the hard work,
right, exactly.
You structured right. Like I'm sure not everything's been perfect, but you structured right, and now you can pay someone to do some of those tedious tasks that you don't have to do anymore.
Yeah, she does. I actually would have been lost without her.
Yeah, there's someone just to kind of
allow
you to.
I had lost my son 8 years ago. And I always had somebody help me with the billing and stuff, but I really never had a manager. Yeah. I always took control because I'm a control freak to begin with. But when I lost my son, I lost a lot.
Yeah. And you lost your husband the year before that.
The year after.
The year after.
Right.
Yeah, the year after. So yeah, you had a couple of
tough years.
Pretty crappy years. And
so when she came in...
you're talking about Mary.
Mary,
okay.
Yeah. She says, let me help you. I don't know how to even tell you what to do.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it was a learning curve, but I thank God for what she does.
Yeah. And even now that you've progressed, I mean, like I'm sure, like I'm not even, like it's still a struggle. But there is the struggle of losing a child and a spouse and helping to raise your granddaughter and run a business that's 8 employees, 10 employees deep. Yeah. Right? Like that's a lot to...
It's a lot on a plate.
To juggle around. Exactly. So having someone that can take a chunk off so that you can do, I don't want to say the more important things, but you can do the more important things of helping to care for your granddaughter and, you know, be able to spend time with your children, and all that is probably... I would say I would say, I don't know if you ever thought about it that way because you're still in it. I'd say that's a probably pretty good plus.
Oh, absolutely.
To owning a business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And since I retired from the vets, I enjoy the garden much more.
I know.
I'm
not gonna lie. I'm gonna steal a sugar snap pea on my way out.
If there's some there,
I saw
might be okay.
I eyed them. I saw them. That was my little snack pack when I leave. So.
Yeah, I like my company. I don't love it.
There are days.
I like it. There are days where I could sell it for $1.
Please don't do that.
No. And then there are days that you don't have enough money to talk to me.
Yeah. That's probably like the ebbs and flows.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say most business owners, and I mean this in a loving way, are a little bit crazy.
Oh,
like we're a little bit. I mean, I don't know what center is, but we're at least 1 or 2 clicks to the left or the right.
Right.
Like there's something.
I'm not grounded.
Something ain't right. Something ain't right in here.
Yeah, but you know what? In your heart it is, because you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
You know, it's just keep going forward.
Yep. And then when you don't know what you're doing, close your eyes and just put one foot
In front of
the other. And eventually
Exactly.
you'll hit a wall,
Yeah.
or you'll open your eyes and you'll have like rainbows and puppies,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
hopefully, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe that's true. So, well, I appreciate you letting us invade your home, and I can't ever not have you around.
I agree.
I think it's nice to be able to connect. But we appreciate you letting you kind of invade your home and move all of your furniture around, and
that's fun.
whenever.
That's fun.
Hopefully you'll invite us back again.
Oh, anytime.
All right.
Anytime.
Well, again, this is Kendra with Scoop Soldiers. I'm the Director of Business Development. I'm here with Mel. Per every podcast, I forget to tell people where to find your information. So your website is?
WhenDutyCalls.com.
Yep. And I assume phone number, email, all that kind of stuff is on
Yep,
there.
everything's on there.
So if you have questions for Mel in the central New Jersey area, you're welcome to reach out. If you have questions for me, you can find my information at KendraW@ScoopSoldiers.com or ScoopSoldiersFranchise.com. And again, like I always say, like the cool kids, like and subscribe. I don't really know what that means, but
Yeah.
but I think we're supposed to say it.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully we'll catch you again on the next podcast.